Hello everybody, my name is Dusty and welcome to my channel. Recently I downloaded an app on my phone called Amino, and this app is an app where you can join and go in and discover all these different kinds of communities. You can join these communities whether they're based on something you like your hobby. Like for me, I'm in goldfish keepers and fish keepers, and you can kind of talk to people. You can take quizzes and ask questions and post pictures. It's kind of like a social media site without sharing all your personal information. I found out this site from another YouTuber called Rugge. He's on there as well, and he is in fact on some of the communities I am. But while I was scrolling through here, there are some things that popped up that I thought were really out of whack. I kind of was thrown back because when Rugge was doing his video, he had mentioned that somebody told him that 5 gallons was not a suitable tank for a betta. In fact, it's 10.
I posted a picture to the fish keeping amino where I actually showed the planted tank that I made for my betta fish, and everyone was really kind on there, and they told me that they thought my tank looked really beautiful and was super cool, but they think that 5 gallons is not big enough for a betta fish.
So I obviously was thrown back because I keep mine in 2.5 gallon tanks, and that's what I have been told it is for such a long time. Tyler's reasoning was because the person was from Germany, and apparently Germany has better standards for fish care than we do, so that's the numbers he was going off of.
On the fish keeping amino, I was actually informed that the standard for betta fish in Germany is actually 10 gallons, and I guess a lot of people like to go with animal care standards in Germany because in America the standards are a lot lower and a bit outdated. So here in America, our standards for betta fish are lower, which you could probably tell considering people keep them in vases and fish bowls usually, which is completely wrong. And this is an example of how I actually use amino and I learn from it.
So I reached out to some of my betta keeper friends, and they all agreed that 10 gallons is a lot for a betta. In fact, it's more like 2.5. That's like the bare minimum. Of course, you always want to have more. The more room, the better. I keep mine in a 10-gallon tank currently. Anything really bigger than 2.5 can be a suitable tank for a betta, but 2.5 gallons is the basic minimum. So while I was perusing through this site, something popped up about goldfish and keeping goldfish in a tank. This one person wanted to keep 3 fancy goldfish. These people wanted him to put 90 gallons of water for 3 fancies. That's 30 gallons of fancy. Well, that's great, and that's wonderful. That's not the minimum. Now, if you know me, I have a 110-gallon stock tank waiting at my sister's house where I'm going to put almost a dozen goldfish in. Now, some people might be thinking, oh, that's way overstocked, but I go off the limits where it's 20 gallons for the first, and then 10 gallons for each additional goldfish. That's the standard that I know. I have proper filtration, so it works. I reached out and said, you could put those 3 fancies in a 40-gallon, and somebody commented back saying, no, those aren't the right standard.
Animal care standards in Germany.
So obviously I went ahead and started looking up what other people were saying, and people were really crazy on this app. In regards to goldfish, they mentioned that fancy goldfish shouldn't be bred because of their body size, because it's not fair to the fish, it's not natural, this, that, and the other, which was crazy. I have gone through 3 years now of keeping these kinds of fish, and now I'm being told I shouldn't even be keeping them, and the way I'm keeping them is inhumane. You have to do it a different way, just because one person's standards is different than another. I kind of talked about this in one of my past videos about goldfish tank mates. Most of the hobby is kind of up for interpretation. You kind of do what you think is best. In my case, it's 20 gallons per 20 gallons the first goldfish, and 10 gallons after that. In some other cases, it's 20 gallons per goldfish, but these individuals want to do 30 gallons per goldfish, and then some. It's getting to the point on this app where the numbers are simply ridiculous. I get that you want to mimic a natural environment for these fish, but unfortunately these fish have not been bred to live in those natural environments anymore. They have been bred over hundreds of years, if not hundreds of years, to be our pets in a sense. And how bad that sounds, it's true. Over the past couple of years, we've bred them down to the kinds of fish we want, domesticated them, worked them into being able to fit into our tanks and our lifestyle, which can be upsetting to some people, but that's the honest-to-God truth. So when it comes to stocking requirements, it really is all for interpretation, but when I saw this, I just knew I had to say something because it is completely and utterly false what they're saying. And if you were looking for proper advice on goldfish care, and when I say proper, I mean the kind of goldfish care where we want to work with you to figure out how to do something right, make sure you join the Goldfish Keepers page on Facebook. We have what I call common sense care requirements. We don't require you to go out and buy a bigger tank just for the moral reasons. We want you to do everything right, but we also want you to learn and do it yourself. So you can check out that Facebook page. But in regards to the app that I mentioned, I would take everything they say with a grain of salt. I would not take what they say as set in stone, because a lot of them don't know what they're talking about. And I say that because when I was talking, I had mentioned that there's a difference between common goldfish and fancy goldfish, and the person I was talking to didn't seem to care that there was a difference. For me, that kind of pointed out that they really don't care. They're just spewing out what they've been told, and that's the end of it. But with that being said, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.